Hi Class 702, this is Maureen O'Reilly, your instructor. This is the Sunday morning video announcement. It'll be short, it'll be sweet. I hope you'll find it useful. So we're starting out, this is Sunday the 24th, and your social network map, very short paper is due this evening at midnight. And then we're going to segue right into week 3. You have several readings from McGuire from the preface through chapter 4, and then videos, one of which at least is Vimeo to help you through that McGuire reading. The password for both Vimeo videos is on your Blackboard week 3 tab on the course shell. This coming week, week 3, is discussion board number 2 coming up. And I'm going to have a sample out for you tomorrow to show you a little bit about what I'm looking for. And it's based on billytool.org. Billytool is an app that my partners and I use in our practice group. And it solves some problems for us, and that's exactly what you're looking for in your mobile app decision. The app decision is very important for you because you'll be using it throughout the rest of the course, so you want to get the right one that really fits the bill. Our next live class is this coming Thursday, January 28th. It's at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. One of your classmates, Dawn McGowan, very nicely volunteered to collate the results of an informal poll, and that was the best time and date for most people, and so that's when we're going to be meeting. What's it going to be about? Well, there are 5 points listed under the assignment tab over there. I'm looking at Blackboard right now under week 3 for things like how are you doing with your assignments, and questions and answers about mobile apps, because hopefully by Thursday all of you will have had a look at the discussion board due on Wednesday, your initial entry, and you'll see what other people are using for a mobile app, and you can talk about yours, hopefully in context. This sort of video announcement is pretty one way. You get to listen, I get to talk. But this upcoming virtual classroom, I hope, will be much more two-way. The mics will be on, or you can use the chat text box. But we're going to hopefully have you talking with me, with your classmates, about what's going on in the course. So that is Thursday, January 28th, 6 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. CST. The other thing going on this week is office hour. Just like last week, this is not mandatory. This is drop in, drop out. Come, ask your question, express your concern, and then you can leave. That will be Wednesday, January 27th. And that, remember, as I said earlier, the office hours are sort of scattered all times, all dates, to try and catch people who are in differing shifts, etc. So this one on Wednesday, January 27th, will be at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is 12 p.m. or noon Central Standard Time. And that, let's see, what we're going to be doing in week 3, of course, slides right into week 4, when you're going to be interviewing people, 3 people, about your app. In other words, let them have a look at it, let them know what the purpose is within this course, and then get their wit and wisdom on the app itself. To go back to discussion board number 2, which is upcoming in week 3, it asks for you to do some specific things. And remember, I hope you will cut and paste the topic description into the beginning of your discussion board entry so that you can look at it as you're writing, check against it as you're writing, and make sure you don't lose points by something as simple as forgetting to include points that should have been covered. So first of all, you're asked to describe the purpose of the app. And I would say one important thing is to look back at the course description in your syllabus. It's like number 3 header. This course will examine the principles of effective information and communication systems with a focus on evaluating and using emerging technologies. Wow, big sentence, a lot of big words, but here's how I hope you are interpreting it. When you're talking about your mobile app, you need to have one that not only solves a problem, but also effectively increases or enhances communication between two healthcare providers, say a physician and a DNP, or between a healthcare provider and the patient. So that's really what you're looking for in a mobile app. So describe the purpose of the app, and again, when you're doing that, when you're writing about it, go back to the course description and tell me and your classmates exactly how that's going to happen through this particular app. The second question you have to answer is, on what platform will it be used? For instance, the billytool.org that I just mentioned, our practice group really thought that we were going to put it on tablets and phones and use it that way. But actually, we ended up putting it on a PC that we all use to do our progress notes on. And we access it then. We don't usually use it out in the hallway or when we're talking with a parent or family. Instead, we're using it in a much more standardized manner on a PC. So we were surprised about that, but that's how it turned out. Number 3, the third question you will answer in discussion board number 2, how it will address a problem. And this is the big kahuna. This is the important, most important question that you can answer in your discussion board. So what is the problem? When you're thinking about a particular population, when you're thinking about a practice group, what is the problem that's going on? For billytool.org, we found out that we were all over the place in how we were treating hyperbilirubinemia, or jaundice, of the newborn. So we needed to find a mobile app that was evidence-based and that was easy to use and that we could all use readily to standardize our practice. And we did it all within 6 months. Even those of us who didn't even know how to put a shortcut on their desktop learned that, started using BillyTool, and now it is a part of our documentation. For instance, we say in our progress notes when we're evaluating jaundice in a newborn that the billytool.org was used to evaluate. We also use its terms, low, intermediate, high risk, etc. In other words, how it grades levels of jaundice. So it definitely solved a problem for us in standardizing our practice. And number 2, if you have wildly differing methods of treating a diagnosis, you can imagine that some babies fared well, others did not. And so hopefully we have improved outcomes for our patients. So that discussion board number 2, first will be due Wednesday at midnight, that initial entry. So everybody needs to get that posted Wednesday by midnight, and that will be the 27th. And then by the following Sunday, a week from today, you will have the other 4 posts. 2 responses to your classmates' posts on their mobile app choices, and then 2 more responses to those who comment on your own initial post. All of you got that very, very well in our first discussion board, so carry on. So all 5 will be due by Sunday midnight, a week from today. Please remember to carefully check APA. Reread your entry before you push that submission button. Make sure that grammar, spelling, sentence construction all do well. I wasn't really tough the first time around on those sorts of things, but I will be much more apt to take points off this time around because I've already warned everybody that you need to read and reread. The other good thing is if you have chosen a study buddy within the course, or within the DNP program. Use that person. That person is just as aware as you are of the importance of APA and getting it right. So please don't submit until you've checked all those points. And remember, this time around, you must have one outside source. It's not enough to simply use the readings that we have for our course, because as I've said before, we have all read those. You aren't bringing anything new to the table. So one outside source. It may be the mobile app site, its website. Maybe that will be your outside source and you're quoting from it or using it for explanation. Maybe it will be you called the company that does that mobile app because you looked at their website and you couldn't really understand everything, so you called up. Well, there you have a personal communication source, and you can see APA for how to do that. So we have gone over week 3, our upcoming live class, our upcoming office hour, and a reminder that your social network map, very, 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 very short paper, is due tonight by midnight. I'm looking forward to the live class because, as I said, I'm hoping we get some two-way communication going. So please remember to bring your questions and ideas to that course. And tomorrow I will have the sample out so you can look at what I'm looking at in mobile apps. Bye.